they can help you. If you or a loved one is suffering with knee, shoulder, neck, back pain, or tennis elbow and would like to learn how to get out of pain, go to Regenetic.com. Then listen in on the first and third Thursday at 10 a.m. to the people that give you the regenerative medical solutions to your pain. Regenetic. First and third Thursdays, 10 a.m. here on WOCA 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. The Source. Regenetic.com.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
All right, 5 minutes after 11 o'clock. The other day there was a story about a school in Lake County, the next county over. And a gentleman had come up with this idea to make a bench, and he called it a buddy bench. And the idea was you sit on the bench if you're a child, and by sitting on that bench, you're basically sending a message to everybody else out on the playground that you'd like to have a friend. And so somebody will see you sitting on the bench, and they'll come over and sit on the bench with you, and then you talk, and then go play, right? You say, hey, okay, let's go. What do you want to do? Shoot hoops, whatever you want to do, right? You play. We do the same thing with the phone. We have buddies on the phone. John Goodwin is one of our buddies.
Yes, he is.
I have never met him. I have not sat on the buddy bench with John. But I feel like we're friends, and he's on the phone right now. He is pretty prestigious. He's the publisher of Galaxy Press. They publish some awesome books, including one of my favorites of the year, which was the Battlefield Earth audiobook that I had. I listened to it in my car for how many months? I was listening to that?
Oh, yeah.
I gave that to your
Long
son,
time.
so he's enjoying it now up in New Jersey.
Is.
And John is also the president of the Hollywood Christmas Parade, and that's always fun to talk about. I guess this is a good time of year to start to talk about that. John Goodwin, good morning, John. How are you?
Good morning, Larry. It's great to be with you again.
Yeah, we've never sat on the buddy bench together, but I think if you were in the playground, I'd be saying, come on, John, let's go do something.
I absolutely think it was great the other day seeing your picture on the on Facebook. I went, my buddy.
Oh, you saw my Facebook page. Oh my gosh.
Gosh.
Well, how are you? It's you're in Southern California right now, right?
I am. Yeah, it's very nice. It's cooled down over the last few days. It was probably 4 days ago we were over 100 degrees, and now we're in the 60s this morning. You'll get to the 70s, but the temperatures changed amazingly fast.
So how did you deal with the fires? Were you okay with the fires, or were you in the danger zone?
I'm in the area where they don't have grass or anything green. I'm in the middle of Hollywood, so I'm totally safe there.
Is that where you live? Do you live in Hollywood?
Yeah. My office is a block away from the Chinese Theater, and I'm a few miles away, and I live a few miles away from my office. So yeah, I'm in the heart of Tinseltown.
So Robin and I I want to tell you something. Robin and I were asked to judge some artwork a couple weeks ago, and as we walked through the artwork, these are 7th and 8th graders, Robin?
High school students.
Oh, high school. Oh, high. Okay,
15 and up.
So 10th grader, maybe? 10th grade?
Yeah, I would say.
Anyway, some of the artwork was really good. And some of them had, guess what? Dragons in them. And I said to a few of them, I said, you got to try out for the Writers and Artists Illustrators of the Future Award. It's free. You could possibly get some artwork published, but just as important is you get feedback from professional artists who can maybe, give you some tips on how to make this a career.
Absolutely. We've had winners that were as young as a senior in high school, just graduating high school, so we've definitely had people that young.
And in fact, I saw a post the other day of one of the winners for and it was really good artwork too. I can't remember the person's name, and I can't remember the lady's name who posted them. What is her name? I can't remember.
On the the stuff I post on the social media. So
you're the one who does it. Okay, yeah,
I'm the one.
I thought it was a lady for some reason.
Well, you were corresponding
Yeah.
with a lady at one time, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So what's new with everything out there? Are we into the first quarter of the contest or the last quarter?
It's the first quarter. The contest ends September 31st, and so the new year begins October 1st. So we're in the first quarter of year 35 right now.
Oh, okay. Wow, 35. So this, let's see, the Sunday the 26th, where will we? Oh, we'll be back in Florida. We're going to New York for the week of Thanksgiving. But we'll be back here. Too bad we can't go to Hollywood. Mm-hmm. So the parade is on the 26th?
The parade is on Sunday after Thanksgiving, and then it's, I think that's the 28th, or is that the 26th?
The 26th.
I have so many different things.
Yeah,
Yes,
the
okay,
26th,
good, yes.
Sunday the 26th.
So Sunday the 26th, and then it airs as a broadcast on the CW, followed by the Hallmark and the Armed Forces Network about 2 weeks later.
Oh, nice.
Oh, neat. And anything new in the parade this year?
Well, we've got Dr. Oz as the Grand Marshal.
Oh, really?
And,
neat.
Yes. And then we've got we're putting together the various musicians, performers, but if anybody's a fan of YMCA, they can come there and enjoy it.
I wonder how many people in the parade have been guests on this show. Because Dr. Oz has been a guest on our show. I wonder
Yes.
how many we've had as guests.
Do you have a specific theme so that way the floats will have all of the same theme, but they'll be different in their creativity?
Well, the whole thing is still on the celebration of the holiday season, and it's a kickoff event for the Toys for Tots program. This is the starting event. We have General Pete Osmond, who's coming in. He's the president, but he's also the retired. He's a 3-star Marine general who runs the Toys for Tots program. And he's the one that really created the whole subject of literacy being added into the whole Toys for Tots program, which is where we got our involvement with them.
Oh, really?
And we have had him on the air with us every year, so that's really an honor that he's here and he's with you guys.
Okay, you've had General Osmond on your show.
Yes, we
Oh,
have.
that's great.
He's a really nice guy.
So are
He's
you
a very nice guy.
Are you publishing books for children?
And I sat on the buddy bench with him.
I bet you have.
So do you publish books for children or for young readers?
Yes, we have. We've talked about it before. The Stories from the Golden Age. Remember those?
Oh, yes, yes.
We talked about them a while before. The Golden Age stories, and there was a line of 80 books that we published, and it's with 153 stories in science fiction, fantasy, mystery, adventure, some romance, and so they're appropriate for age readers of 4th and 5th grade on up. And the thing that's really good about them, which you experience also with Battlefield Earth, is there's high interest, high action, but there's no sex, no profanity, so it makes it very, very good for readers of all ages.
Yeah, that's good.
It's definitely appropriate for young adults and for people who have reading requirements, because we're listed with Accelerated Reader with our Stories from the Golden Age. So kids that have reading requirements are able to get through their reading requirements reading some great stories.
What is the theme of the parade?
The theme of the parade is the celebration of the holidays.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So on that, we'll have when the whole parade broadcast is put together. It's a mix of the hour-long concert that happens before the parade with the parade. So the 2 hours goes really fast.
Oh, I see. Okay. And you mentioned one of the acts. Who are the other musical acts?
There's several people from the America's Got Talent. And we're finalizing some of the big name acts. Unfortunately, a lot of these guys have really big schedules, so to get them in there, and that's what we're finalizing right now. But we've got requests out to some names that would really work out great if we do. I can't say who they are right now because they're not confirmed. And I'd hate for it to get back and saying, you said we were confirmed when we didn't.
Oh, no.
Where is the staging area for the parade before you guys step off? Where is the staging area for the parade before you guys step off to?
Well, where it happens is our office is in the green room, and so we're right here between Highland and La Brea on Hollywood Boulevard. Like I said, we're a block west of the Chinese Theater, so that's the green room.
Okay.
And so people load in on the golf carts, the celebrities, or so all the big balloons and the marching bands and the the floats all out staging right in front of us on Hollywood Boulevard. And so it takes off on in front of the Hollywood Hotel. Maybe that area there is Hollywood Highland and the Roosevelt Hotel. Roosevelt Hotel is where it all starts off there. And there's a huge red carpet. We've not actually measured it, but it's quite possibly the biggest red carpet in the world. It's huge, and that's where the whole parade actually starts. And then it goes for a mile down Hollywood Boulevard up to Vine, and then it goes up Vine to Sunset, and then back up Sunset to where it started. So it's about a 2.5 mile route.
Oh man, I can picture some of it because I think you might remember I lived out there for about a half a year, and I was right in that whole area right there. I used to go to a building 9229 Sunset Boulevard. I think it was the last building before the residential district started, if I remember right.
Wow.
Yeah.
When do the balloons start getting inflated? About what time?
What we do on the way we work at is starting at the balloons get going probably about 2 o'clock being inflated. It's they're helium, so it's a mixture of helium with air to float them, and so we have that, and it's about probably 3 or 4 hours of getting them all floated, and then we have our volunteers that are there holding the balloons, and then we also have sandbags to help, because what happens is before the parade starts, we have the concert for an hour, and so a lot of people that have been there dutifully carrying their balloons and being patient want to be able to go see the concert. So then we let them go for an hour to see the concert, and then come back, and then the parade rolls out for the next 2 hours.
Oh, how
Is this one of those things that as soon as it's done, you're starting work on it the next day or the next week or something?
It's not quite that, but it's not that far, because there's still a lot of stuff to be done, because what the TV show has to do then is they have to put together the whole broadcast. So then they really get into action of doing all the mixing, and combining and cutting and doing all the combining for the actual broadcast itself, and then getting that cleared through the TV channels on the final format, because it goes on quite a bit of different air coverage on that. Plus, television and KTLA in Los Angeles does a special broadcast of the parade, which is the LA-centric one, which has the Los Angeles politicals, because we have council members, and the mayor might be in this year, and we have a congressman. So we have the politicals in there, which is great for the locals to see that, but it's not, somebody from Pakistan is going to be interested in seeing, political people.
And are the spectators encouraged in advance to bring a toy to the parade, so there will be people there picking up the toys for Tots?
No, that's they're encouraged to do that, and there's a whole big thing in the program book about that. But there's no, the place is packed. There's hundreds of thousands of people there, so to have some place for them to drop off isn't something that's going to happen there. We will have already delivered probably maybe 100,000 books for Toys for Tots.
Oh my! Oh my!
Oh my gosh, that's so many. I think I saw you. Let me think. We have one of our colleagues, Galen Unold from Life South, was up in Atlanta, and I think you and him kind of got together, and I saw him on one of your videos from the Comic-Con. I think it was Comic-Con, right?
DragonCon.
DragonCon.
Yeah, DragonCon. Yeah, it was great. I was listening to the commercial. I said, Galen.
Yes, that's right. And so that was very impressive on him. I mean, he was very impressed with the amount of the books that you gave him to give away, and it sounded like it was a win-win for everybody.
Oh, it was great. Yeah, and there's another guy on the buddy bench. We made great friends, and I'm very much looking forward to working with him next year and doing things, because if it helps to, I mean, he had the highest ever on his donations, which
right, yeah,
was very fortuitous with what happened not too long after, but it was great. I loved working with him.
Yeah, that horrible story out of Vegas is what you're referring to, I suppose, right?
Well, we had the horrible story of, first of all, we had the hurricane out of Texas, and then we had the there's
Irma.
So with all that happening too, I'm assuming that that went up for that as well. Maybe not, but it was a definite problem, because there's been a lot of disasters.
Yeah. So what? How do you know that a parade is successful? Do you have, like, in all the years you've done it, do you have some years where they were like stellar years for you, and others that you were a little bit disappointed, or are you never disappointed?
Well, the one year was kind of rough was the year that it rained and rained and rained. LA and rain are just like it doesn't work in Los Angeles. And so it was, we weren't prepared for that, for just a torrential downpour. It wasn't just a little bit of rain. It was just the streets themselves were overflowing. And so that was the year that, with all the rain and whatnot, it was a problem. The carpet was all, that huge, biggest carpet in the world, that was pretty much all destroyed. Right. And there was a lot of damage to the sound equipment on the stage. So that wasn't a good year. It was in terms of the production, but afterwards, because we had such great talent on we had Stevie Wonder there, so Stevie Wonder is great no matter what. And
yeah, really.
So there was, so that was the roughest one. But otherwise, each year gets better and better. So I can look at each year. There's something that makes it really better than the previous year, and so we're very excited about that. So the viewership continues to grow on the television program, which is the final product we've got. And every time we can do something that provides more entertainment for the underprivileged, which they're able to come and see the show, that's always really, really exciting. So we do stuff to invite them. We invite them to the show and give them seats and whatnot. So that's been a real fun part of it.
Do you know what I wanted to kind of share with you, an observation? I guess we make this every now and then. When you do showbiz stuff, and we're part of that. We're at the lowest part of the totem pole, by the way. But you always wonder. you always wonder. I mean, do we really contribute to society? It seems like doctors and politicians, they do so much more. But I think that the world would be such a sad place if we didn't have the stuff you're talking about, the great books that you publish, and the whole industry that makes Hollywood what it is. I just think that really makes a big contribution. That's probably our biggest resource is the entertainment industry.
I agree with that, and I think it's a double-edged sword there, because you see some of the fallout that's happening right now in Hollywood. So what I try to do when my participation in the parade and as a publisher is to provide something that does entertain, but it also maybe helps with, and this isn't the primary thing, but it happens as a result, is help provide a bit of a moral compass so that people reading can look at it and just see that there are solutions to any situation, because the author, Elwin Hubbard, provides a lot of scenarios where it's a person that's gone in life and hasn't necessarily always done the right thing.
That's right.
But then he reaches some moral crossroad or some situation, and he has to decide to do the right thing.
Very right.
And in his stories they do, and so you realize that it's never too late in life to change and to do the right thing, which is really important. Robert Heinlein said that his storyline, which he never knew really existed, was that it was the man that learns better. or I guess in today's politically correct day, the person that learns better. You know?
Right, yeah.
And I think that's where the Golden Age stories come in conjunction with the Golden Age theater, because you've got various ages that participate in this, and it really is amazing to actually see these stories come to life by the actors portraying them.
That's right. And that's something that's that's one of the reasons why we've done so much working with the Toys for Tots. The General Osmond, really having read some of the stories, found then that was something that for his audience is really, really good, because these are a lot of his kids are at risk. And so it's important for them to get that message that you can change and do the right thing, which is what he's really enjoyed. And Mr. Hubbard himself, having been in the Navy, been a lieutenant in the Navy, is very appreciative of what the military does and the need for the military and the need for what they've done to help protect what we have in America. And he was definitely an American first and foremost in his appreciation of what it does for planet Earth. So that's something that the General can really sink his teeth into and really appreciate what he has.
And the people like yourself and the General and all of the people on your team, you serve as amazing mentors.
Well, that's the idea, to let people know that you don't have to be the effect of whatever's going on there. And unfortunately, there's a lot of bad news, that's going on up there, and some people just, they're like, what do I do? And so they'll take these alternate solutions of the drugs, for example. That's one way to escape, and it's such a bad solution. And it's the whole thing that was just recently announced about opioids. There's more people die from that from pretty much anything else.
Yeah.
So having something that people can just chill out for a bit and just kind of like get a little bit of like, hey, let's get some perspective. Even though it's just a fiction book that we publish, it does give something that person can maybe connect with, which we found happens because we get great letters from students as well as military, as well as grandparents.
Yeah, that's really a truth. I know that in listening to Battlefield Earth in my car, I literally would listen to it for like 20 minutes at a clip, and then I couldn't wait to get back in the car to listen to another 20 minutes. And to this day, when I drive down those same roads, I'm still thinking about that story because I'm looking at the same telephone poles and the same houses that I drove past to get to work, because that's what I would listen to it going to work and going home from work.
Yeah, no, it's and that's the value of having like really good stories, is that it'll accomplish that exact thing that people will go, wow, that's they have a nice memory that they can associate with it, and they will. And that's with the audiobook of Battlefield. But any of our stories too, they will do that, because they're all recorded that same way with multiple voices.
Yes.
With a realistic sound effects. Makes such a difference.
Absolutely. Well, we're on the buddy bench, you and Robin and I, and one of these days we'll get out to Hollywood and get to meet with you. I went to Google Street View, and I'm looking at the Chinese Theater, so I'm just trying to figure out which your office is. John.
Yeah, it's.
Go ahead.
Just go about a block west.
A block west.
You'll see. Yeah.
Oh, that says Harry Potter on it. That's you? Is that you?
Not quite. Well, we got huge banners of the Battlefield Earth on the outside of the building to show it was the #1 book in America. It's a lot of fun there. It can be a lot of fun, that's for certain.
And if the parents want to check out the books for the young readers, they can go to goldenagestories.com.
Well, it's actually all now makes it even easier. They all go to galaxypress.com.
Oh, okay, and everything's all right there.
That's right, all right there.
Marvelous.
Still looking for
I
his
love
office.
that.
I'm still looking for his office on Street View. I found Marshall's. Are you near Marshall's? Where are you?
I am. Marshall's. You're a little bit closer to where I am.
Okay.
So what you do is, can you hear me?
Yes. I hear you.
Yeah. So it's at 7051 Hollywood Boulevard. If you Google that, you'll find me.
There you go.
I'll just do that.
7051 Hollywood Boulevard.
Okay, I'm at 70.
Now we got John.
Oh, now I know.
There you go.
Okay, I will find it. John, thank you for taking time to be with us today, and enjoy the holiday season. Thank you for your contribution. Oh, there you are. Oh, that's an awesome picture. Oh, I found it. Oh, yes. I'm a big fan of this book, by the way. There's everybody.
Good.
You got to get this one as a gift for somebody. They will love it. If they're a reader, get the book. If they are a listener, they'll love the audiobook. John Goodwin, thank you so much for everything you do. I know we have people in our community who will probably be entering the contest as writers and or illustrators. So thank you for giving them an opportunity to have a career.
You're very welcome. This is awesome. And one final point, which I just realized I didn't tell you, it's like right now on Amazon, if a person goes there on Kindle, it's on special for 99 cents. It's like a limited time thing, so they can definitely take advantage of that. 99 cents for the book.
No way.
Wow.
Oh, that's crazy.
Wow, that is crazy.
Oh my gosh. It's like an 800-page book. How many pages is it? 600? 800?
It's about that.
Yes, but it's
Yeah, it's huge. Huge book. He's looking at it.
Totally huge.
This is amazing. 99 cents.
John, thank you. Thank you for being with us today.
Great. Well, thank you very much.
Okay, we'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Here are today's headlines from The Source. WOCA scandals helped destroy the Senate careers of Republican Frank Artiles and Democrat Jeff Clemens, and there's talk of cases of sexual harassment and private investigators